Welcome to the Scratch Golfer's Mindset Podcast. My name is Paul Salter, and I'm a triple-digit golfer on a quest to become a scratch golfer. I'm also a high-performance mindset coach and credentialed hypnotherapist with 15 years of experience helping high performers from all walks of life get unstuck and unlock their full potential. Join me each week as I not only detail my journey, but make mastering the mental game of golf simple, tangible, and relatable so that you can overcome the mental hazards keeping you stuck in the proverbial bunker of poor performance. Hey, fellow golf addicts. Welcome back to another episode of the Scratch Golfer's Mindset Podcast. I'm your host, Paul Salter, the golf hypnotherapist. And wow, we have a week to recap if there ever was one, both life on and away from the golf course. No shortage of great experiences, life-altering moments taking place this weekend, and fortunately or unfortunately, those beautiful life-changing moments and lifetime memories were all made away from the golf course, but we will dive into that. And again, thank you so much for listening. Remember, every Tuesday, I do a brief recap on my past week, focusing on achieving my goal of breaking 90 on or before November 13th. And if you had to ask me today, or rather, if you asked me today, how I'm feeling about breaking 90 on or before November 13th, I would initially pause before I answered to really think about this answer. The confidence is at a 6.5 out of 10. As of this moment today, it's Monday. I think it's September 9th. I just got off the course, played a round of 18 with a good friend, Mr. Aaron. 6.5, because I'm a big believer whenever I ask my clients to use that 1 to 10 rating scale. You're not allowed to use the number 7 because it's an easy go-to answer. It's like a cop-out. And the confidence is a little less. At the end of the day, I'm going to achieve this goal. Damn it if I don't, I'm going to achieve this goal. There's a little lingering frustration and disappointment, maybe perhaps a little speckle of impatience present in this moment. And we're going to unpack all of that. But what a wonderful week. This past week, I had the pleasure of welcoming an abundance of family and friends to come down here to Tampa, Florida. My parents, one of my brothers, and his girlfriend spent a long weekend with us. We had a wonderful time getting plenty of sunshine and sand down at the beach in St. Pete. Plenty of ass whooping on the pickleball court by yours truly, of course. I mean, get this. My little brother talking so much smack. You know, if you're an older brother, you got to put him in his place. Waxed him 11-0 on the pickleball court. I felt it was a move of integrity not to allow him to gamble on his pickleball after watching him warm up. I said, dude, we can't do this. I would not feel right taking your money. So all kidding aside, that was absolute blast. And the main reason they were down here was twofold. First and foremost, we got to celebrate our little one, who is about 9.5 weeks away from meeting us and coming into this world. We had a great baby shower with our closest family and friends. Just a wonderful moment surrounded by so much love, so much joy, excitement. And if you've heard anything about my story, I've moved 19 times now in the last, 12 and a half-ish years. So establishing a sense of communities been difficult, to say the least, and to be surrounded by such close friends, family, people who have really stepped up for us and come into our lives the last year. It was such an indescribable moment. And then the next day, boom, it's week 1 of the NFL. Opening kickoff, the Redskins, my home team, ride or die down here in Tampa for a complete ass whooping. They absolutely forgot to show up on the defensive side of the ball. But again, we had 16 people come to that game, and an incredible experience minus the outcome. So just overjoyed with love and gratitude away from the course this week. And I share that for a couple of reasons. One is to really help you recognize what's going on away from the course, whether you want it to or not, absolutely affects what's going to or what can potentially happen on the course. You know, a lot of misunderstanding about the type of coaching I do and where and how I use hypnosis to help competitive golfers, amateur golfers play their best golf. A lot of what we work on are elements taking place away from the course, because no matter how hard you try or you want to, you can't separate the golfer from the husband, the employee, the employer, the dad, the mom, the brother, sister, neighbor. It's all interconnected. The same challenges you face on the golf course: impatience, anger, emotional mismanagement, frustration, doubt, lack of confidence, trust, belief, lack of focus, concentration. They're likely plaguing you in your professional, your personal, and your romantic lives as well. And if we flip that too, if you have a lot going on in your personal life, you may struggle with patience, focus, concentration, confidence on the course as well. And I'll circle back and really tie this together in a moment. And for now, we'll get to golf. And I will tell you, I snuck a round in on Thursday, a round of 9 this past week, completely unplanned. I had 2 calls in the morning asked to reschedule. And I'd already kind of been eyeing up my late afternoon. I was like, I'm going to at least get an impromptu range session. And I was like, I'm going to make it work. I mean, if there's a will, there's a way. I got my newsletter done early Thursday morning, which, if you don't follow or subscribe to the More Pars Than Bogeys newsletter, here's your reminder. Last week's edition is the art and science of acceptance. Learn how practicing acceptance can accelerate results. It's a fucking, I don't even know the word. It's a great fucking newsletter, to say the least. I'll drop the link below. You should absolutely read it. But anyway, Thursday was just shaping up. I started the day with a ton of momentum. I'm like, okay, I now have about 3 hours to get to the course and start a round. I get there. They have room for me to jump in. The guy's like, look, you don't have time to warm up. I've got 6 foursomes that are starting in about 20 minutes, and you're going to get stuck behind them, so you need to go now. So literally no warm up. I'm running out there. I run into a newly met friend who I played 2 singles. We got paired together a few weeks ago, and we've started playing together. I'm like, this is great. It's all coming together. Everything is there except my swing, except my feeling of being warmed up, ready. It was a horrendous round of golf. The ball striking was good. The accuracy, the depth of control every one of us aspires to have on the course was still left in my car. I forgot to bring it with me. I'm learning how invaluable the warm-up is for me. And yes, obviously, I know that. You know that. For me in particular, I like to do a lot of my mental warm-up. You know, if you had to use a description, a field player, I don't really quite resonate with that, but I like to have my processes and my opportunity to execute my processes before, during, and after a round of golf. All of my processes were thrown out the window. There was a sense of strong false urgency while we were playing. The course was in not so great shape from just the inches and inches of rain we have been dumped on with here in North Tampa the last couple of weeks. But that is one of the rounds I squeezed in. Played 9. It was so bad I didn't even keep score. If I had to estimate, probably 54 to 57 range. It wasn't a good round. It wasn't a good round. Really hard to find positives. Had a couple really good putts that were saving double bogey or bogey from 16 to 20 feet. That's what went well. Playing with a friend, that went well. Too many things to get into that could have gone better. We move on, and I bring you to today. Again, you're listening to this after the fact. It's Monday afternoon on September 9th. Got a round in at Rocky Point Golf Course, round of 18. And this is where I would love to cue the Chris Berman 2-minute drill music. If you're an old fan of NFL primetime, the man, the myth, the legend, Chris Berman, I want to cue that music for the 2-minute drill. I wish I could. I don't know what the copyright infringement nonsense is. I'm not going to look into it at this moment. But here's where we were. We played Rocky Point today, and here's what we were focused on. I got a lot of great feedback from my coach, my great friend Luke, and a couple other people when I've been posting some swing videos on Instagram. And it was like, dude, shorten the fuck out of your backswing. This is why you are struggling. You're not getting the club face all the way closed and around. This is why you're pushing or slicing, and you're not able to consistently hit well off the tee box. So really the intention today was significantly shortening my backswing with my 3-wood, with my driver. And as a whole, I think I did well with that. I hit the ball significantly better, significantly straighter, most importantly, inbounds off the tee box, and things were moving in the right direction. First 2 holes, though, tee was too high. Popped up my first drive, my second drive using the 3-wood, and it went a whopping, 100, 120 yards straight on the fairway or right off, but really, really got under it. So we're starting strong with double, double, double. 2-putt, 2-putt, 2-putt. Then we find a bogey and a 1-putt, another double, 1 poor triple. And then we go bogey, bogey, bogey to finish out with a 51 on the front, 16 putts. And here's the thing, 1 triple bogey. I believe I had 1 out of bounds. I used 1 mulligan because I didn't get a chance to warm up with my drives. There was not a driving range to do that. And all in all, I felt I struck the ball well. A lot of improvement, a lot of great quality contact. A couple times I was coming across the ball. So on those par 3s, pin high, great club, just pulled across the ball. So it was 25 to 35 yards left of the pin. So there was work to be done. We go to the back 9. The sun is out. It's 90 degrees already. And I'm just starting to lose a little fuel, a little focus, a little energy, and I'm hydrating well. I'm literally fueling well from a nutrition perspective. I noticed, though, I was struggling to focus. I thought I had a couple of calls this afternoon. I wanted to make sure I could get back in time, really just connect with my girlfriend, touch base, and then really ready myself for 3 hours of calls and a kind of a second half of the workday, if you will. So I felt a little rushed. I caught myself once having the thought I wanted to check on the traffic about getting home and pull up the Maps app. I did not do it, but even the fact that the thought was there really helped me see like, shit, I am not focused. And I did some great breath work to finish strong, bring in a couple better holes towards the end, but it wasn't pretty on the back 9. The things that went well is I started driving the ball well, putting it in the fairway, a handful of fairways fairways hit on the back 9. The putting was inconsistent. I will say as a whole, I had 5 putts stop 2 inches or less from the hole. Just is what it is, but noteworthy because, those are even half of those falls were shooting much better. So really we went double, bogey, double, double, triple, triple, double, double, double on the back. It was fucking awful. I think I read my scorecard correctly. Regardless, I shot a 54 on the back, a 105 for the day, couple penalties on the back, hitting out of bounds, couple lost balls that I know didn't go in the water. We just couldn't find them. So we had to take the stroke and play onward. 19 putts on the back 9, 35 putts total. And that's where we were today. And to be frank, a lot of missed opportunity. And I'm realizing, I'm inundated with so many things to think about on my swing, on my course management strategy. I feel like I'm progressing from, everybody who, if you recall back to when you first started playing, there's just hit the ball. Just make good contact. Just create it. Just hit it straight. Now focus on your backswing like this. Then following through, aim, stance, this, that, and the other. Things are moving in the right direction. A lot of those voices are becoming quieter. A lot of those swing thoughts are less intense and less frequent. I see the potential. And as discouraging or disappointing as some aspects of today's rounds are, I know I am on the right path to breaking 90 on or before November 13th. And again, the confidence I said I kicked off this episode 6.5. And as I review my notes in front of me and my scorecard, I'm feeling confident. It's going to happen. There's a lot of promising things here. What I really need to work on, I wrote down 3 words today I wanted to share with you: patience, focus, and pressure. Patience. Course management strategy is what came to mind when I wrote that word down. I need to be a little patient in really making sure I'm thinking through the where and the why I am aiming my next shot, how that can potentially set me up for the next one to score well. I'm not doing a consistent job around the greens of actually picking a precise location to chip to. I've been so concerned the last couple of weeks with just kind of adapting to these new wedges, making solid contact. I'm working on a particular way of attacking the ball from within 30, 40 yards, and then also working on doing so with an open club face to get a little more loft in particular situations. And yes, it's a game of repetition, but I've allowed this tunnel vision of focus to take me away from choosing a precise location, on the fringe, the mound, or the green to place that chip. And that's due to impatience on my end. It's also due to perhaps a lack of awareness in those moments, getting so consumed. And now, obviously, I'm aware after doing my after round reflection, I'm voicing it here on the podcast, I will nip that in the bud, really taking the time to slow down, just like I do off the tee box and in the fairway or the rough, envision that shot, see it, pick that location. I had a lot of great chips today that just were right at the pin and they just ran incredibly long, to the point sometimes they ran all the way across the green. I bounced over the hole a couple times. Again, the aim was there. Like the ball was going where I wanted to. I was just completely absent-minded when it came to distance and picking that location. So that's on me. I'm working on that. Focus. I alluded to it earlier. I had so much going on in my personal life. All wonderful things. Admittedly, I'm a little physically, emotionally, and mentally drained today. Lack of sleep, lots of football, a little extracurriculars yesterday, getting to an altered state, having a blast, enjoying this wonderful time. Football season, opening day with dear friends and family. Lack of sleep, running on less sleep than usual. The energy is inconsistent. Just kind of the come down from a great weekend, I'm sure, influenced some of my attitude and energy on that back nine, starting to kind of come back into reality after 3.5 days off from no work, all fun, all family, all friends. And now it's like, okay, I got to get ready for the second half of the work day on Monday. So I'm sure that contributed to my focus. I think in hindsight, I would have done a better job pre-round of just really setting that intention, being more cognizant that that's possibly on my plate, and really thinking of how I wanted to strategically implement some breaks, some breath work, and maybe an extra snack before the back nine. So I was well-fueled and proactively in front of the challenge. So just great feedback and learning from me. And then I caught myself a few times. The third word I'm addressing, I addressed patience, I addressed focus, and I want to address pressure. I am catching my mind wandering, some thoughts creeping in after the first couple of holes of, right now I'm really focused on playing bogey golf. And if I'm finding after a couple double bogeys, my mind's wandering. And there's a little bit of like, well, fuck, I got to share all of these disappointing results with you. And it sounds silly. It's totally normal. It's a part of the human experience, and I'm aware of it too. So I'll work to diffuse those thoughts and any emotional charge around it because I love doing this. I hope you're finding it value every time I'm recapping where I'm at because it's raw, it's real, it's vulnerable as fuck. It's just simply where I'm at in my journey. And I know I'll look back in a month, 6 months, and 12 months. I'll laugh at this. I'll find great value in it, and I'll be shooting a hell of a lot of a lower score. But I'd be lying if I say, there's, I think, 70-ish days left here, and I want to shoot an 88 tomorrow. And I'm not quite there yet. So a little bit of that is likely lingering in the background, too, and I'll keep working on that away from the course as well. And then the last thing I noticed, that's kind of a result of carrying some of that pressure, some of that just emotional fuel, mental fuel, a bit depleted coming into the round, specifically on the back nine. I was a little inconsistent with some of my routines and processes too. And I share that now taking a big step back, observing this through a 30,000-foot view with a 30,000-foot view through a lens of non-judgmental curiosity. Like, how do I feel? Like, the game is there. The skill is going to continue to increase with every single practice rep and real repetition I complete. I see bright spots. I see what my game can look like when it comes together consistently. I had a hole in the back nine, placed the driver about 275 straight down the middle, blasted a 5-wood like 215, 220 straight down the middle. I've got, I think, like 65, 70 yards. The ball's plugged in the fairway. It's Florida. That's normal. I tried to be a bit of a hero. I honestly should have just said fuck it and just kind of fixed the lie. I completely topped the ball. It was just very plugged. The ball went maybe 18 inches. And then the next shot, I blasted it right on the green. But now I'm already 4 shots putting for par, and boom, I 3-putt. Very atypical. But on that hole, a lot of bright spots. 3 really, really good shots. So that's just one micro example. And again, I just share that because the bright spots are there. I'm going to keep finding them even on some of those frustrating days because I know I'm heading in the right direction, which leads me to what is on the horizon this week. And as I answer that or ask that question, I'm actually bringing up my calendar. So I'm going to get a round in on Friday. I've got a 2-hour lesson on Sunday. On my time, I will be working on my short game. I got a little inconsistent with contact. I was spinning the ball, topping the ball around the green, was displeased to say the least. So that's where my intention will be, as well as just continuing to grease the groove with the shorter backswing off the tee box. So those will be my intentions for each individual practice session. I'll hit some balls in my lanai every single day, and I'm going to begin to committing to making 25 putts every single day in my garage. You heard it here, 25 putts. I've got a 2x12 mat from Birdie Ball, I believe. Really enjoy it, really like it. It's a neat little thing to put in my garage just to practice fluidity, consistency, and in developing a smooth feel, turning up the volume of comfortability, trust, and confidence in my putter so I can bring that aggressive, confident attitude to the green, which admittedly lacked a little bit today. And that's where I'm at. That's another week. We're moving. I believe, if baby's 9.5 weeks away, then that is where we are from achieving our goal. So the race is on, the opportunity awaits us, and I am so excited to continue sharing this journey with you every single week. So thank you so much for listening to another episode of the Scratch Golfer's Mindset podcast. I thoroughly hope you are finding value, and if you are, I have one simple ask. Leave a rating, a genuine review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever it is you are listening to this episode. This helps me tremendously. It puts the show, my content, the wonderful slew of experts I have every other Thursday into the earbuds of more golfers just like you, helping all of us collectively shoot more pars than bogeys. To be frank, soon I might have to upgrade the newsletter to more birdies than pars because that is where we are heading. Have a fantastic week of playing. Hit them straight, score low. I'll catch you in the next episode.